Hey guys, this is Joel from the Fincastle Pokemon Gym. As I've said here before, I like to share with you guys what I am playing and what I am working on. Today's deck, while not at all anything that is new or hot, is one of those that I could just make a 15-minute video of the multiple lists that I've played with this guy. And I don't think I'm that far off course by following my instinct to keep coming back to this deck. The centerpiece of these multiple iterations is Meowscarada EX. And full disclosure, I did buy a playset of Meowscarada EX a while ago, and I am pretty cheap, so maybe there are some ulterior motives. But Meowscarada EX has a lot going for it, and with each new set, I don't see it becoming worse. Unless there's some crazy fire deck in the pipeline that I'm not aware of, it seems to me like it just keeps getting a little bit stronger with each set. What I do see is a lot of people still playing Charizard EX, which is weak to grass, and even more people playing Roaring Moon EX, which is weak to grass. And I see a ton of decks that rely on evolutions. And in Meowscarada EX, I see great potential to exploit Pokemon that evolve. Let's go over the card quickly first, then get into the deck. Meowscarada EX is a Stage 2, 310 HP grass type, with 1 ability, 1 attack, fire weakness, and a 2 energy retreat cost. His ability, called Bouquet Magic, lets you discard a basic grass energy from your hand, and then put 3 damage counters on one of your opponent's benched Pokemon. It has to be on the benched one. This is stackable, meaning that you can use it from multiple Meowscarada in one turn if you have the energy in your hand. And that ability, Bouquet Magic, pairs with the attack Scratching Nails. Scratching Nails does 100 damage, and if the defending Pokemon has damage counters on it, it does 120 more damage. So it's basically 220 damage. But conventional wisdom is to play this with double turbo energy, which reduces the output by 20. So more often than not, it's just going to max out at 200. The weakness of the attack is why I don't think it gets played much. I think people are still kind of looking at it wrong. This can one-hit grass weak targets, but too many people I think focus on the attack. To me, the ability is what is strong, and supplemented by the attack, Meowscarada can set up amazing come from behind wins, and sometimes even a board clearing turn thanks to the technical machine De-Evolution, or Devolution if you want to go with how it's spelled. I want to jump right into the list. Like I said, there are so many ways to build this. The first and easiest way is to just copy a Charizard EX build and adjust it to change the Pokemon to fit Meowscarada. But today I'm just covering this list. This list is really just trying to maximize the use of the tools you can get with Arbin, and using the newer bug catching set and Poffin combo. What this deck does not do is jump out to a fast Meowscarada every time, but what it does do is get several in play at the same time, and then bodies as many hits as it can, and then uses Devolution to wipe out multiple Pokemon at once. I'm going to have to say De-Evolution because Devolution just does not make sense to me. I have rare candies available, but I am fine manually evolving and taking my time, and I do that with the technical machine Evolution. And looking at that TM, I thought, what if I put that on a wall? And as I built this list, I wanted to stick to a wall that was easy to get. So one I could get with Poffin. The obvious choice was Mimikyu, but while perusing through other options, Klefki also jumped out to me as interesting, so I added him. Just as a reminder, Mimikyu blocks Vs and EXs. A little lesser known Klefki, he shuts off abilities from basics, so things like Squawkabilly, Lumineon V, Miraidon EX, Raikou V, Chinpel. There's a long list of really good Pokemon that if he's active, he just shuts them off. So for now, I've got one of each. I haven't really decided yet which way to go, but I definitely see playing more than one of these in future versions, maybe just go one way or the other, all Mimikyu or all Klefki. I don't think there is anything else super groundbreaking here. Like any deck, especially ones that take multiple turns to get going, you need to stick to your game plan and just stay the course even if you fall behind. I think I played one this weekend against, I think it was Arceus V-Star and Superior V-Star of all things. And my opponent had taken 5 prizes, still 0 for me before I used the TM De-Evolution and knocked out 2 Arceus and a Superior and won the game in 1 move. So that's the kind of mindset you have to have while playing this. And speaking of that, let's just get into some games because I think they illustrate the deck better than me just talking about it. This first match is going to be against, I guess, what we call the Loyal 3, a lot of the Shrouded Fable guys. They get a very good start, and kind of surprised they didn't go second. They won the coin toss, but they chose to go first. They get pretty well set up. I've got a lot of ways to get basics here, so we're going to go ahead and get that started. This Palfin will get Mimikyu and Bidoof down. Artisan will let us get one more. I'd get another Bidoof here if I had it. I've got that Bibarel in my hand, but I don't, so we're just end right there. They really kind of fly through getting set up on this one and come back and knock out my Sprigatito. So back to me, I will evolve to Bibarel. With Artisan, I'm going to get down that Klefki. Kind of could use either one here. Mimikyu or Klefki are both advantageous in this matchup, but I just need to get set up more than anything. I'm playing my hand down so I can use Bibarel, get as much as I can. Don't get what I need, I'm going to go ahead and Iono. But I'm trying to get that rare candy, and I can't. I do get unfair stamps, so I'm going to go ahead and just shuffle everything right back in again. Which is nice, because it'll put them down to 2. Still don't have the combo there. I do have Ultra Ball. So I'm going to go ahead and toss Palfin and Energy. And get the Floragato. Oh, manually evolve there, and we're just going to sit behind the Mimikyu and end their turn. They do take poison, because that Okidoki is poison. Back to me, they only had 2 cards. They had a Pokegear, they got Boss off of it, so they catch the Floragato, and are going to knock it out. It doesn't seem like this is a very winnable game at this point, but that's why I say you need to be patient with this deck. Back to my turn, we will use Arven. Get Rare Candy and the TM Evolution. Gonna attach there. Go ahead and play use Artisan again to get Sprigatito down. See what we draw on Bibarel. I do have that Rare Candy in my hand. Still can't hit the Meowscarada. Probably a mistake there to play down the Manaphy, but I played him down. Kind of clogs up my bench. I'm gonna go ahead and use TM one more time to get just the one Floragato. This time around, they didn't have a way to play around Mimikyu, so they had to pass. They couldn't get an extra energy on the Morpeko. So I will play the bug catching set and finally hit some dirt here. Get both Meowscarada, so I can Rare Candy to one and then just evolve the other manually. Gonna go ahead and use Bouquet Magic and put 30 down on their second Okidogi. Just playing that TM, I don't need any more at this point to just get it out of my hand. Get as much as I can out of Bibarel. We'll do that. We do get our double turbo energy. Get the counter catcher there. This is where I wish I hadn't played down the Manaphy, because then I could just move damage counter with Alakazam and knock out this active Okidogi now. I'm going to get 2 energies back on energy retrieval, so we can Bouquet Magic again. We'll get 30 down on the other Okidogi. One thing I didn't talk a whole lot about in the deck review of this is the energy retrieval mechanism. I played 2 super rods and just that one energy retrieval. That's 8 energies you can get back, and that's plenty in this deck. I hit him for 200 and missed him by 10 damage on the knockout. I'm not worried about that though, because the way you can manipulate damage in this deck, it won't be a problem. It's kind of a neat trick in this one. They send up the Morpeko, put the Binding Mochi on him, poison him, and hit me for 110, and then lets them move those 2 energies down. Wouldn't have got any more damage out of the Okidogi anyways. They couldn't poison him. He only had 10 damage left. So back to my turn. I'm going to go ahead and use Bouquet Magic and take out that Okidogi that was just barely survived. So we'll get 2 prizes off that. And get a Meowscarada out of prizes and a double turbo, so those are good prizes to draw. We'll get the escape board down. I've got that Iono in my hand, but they only have a 2-card hand, so you really don't want to shuffle them into a better hand than what they have. The Bouquet Magic again, get 30 on the Peacherunt. And then I'm just going to get Super Rod with Arven, get some more energies back in. And because I got that Meowscarada, I'm going to go ahead and get a Sprigatito back in. That way I can get a 3rd one if the opportunity comes up. Don't know that I can because I've got Manaphy in my way. We'll knock out that Morpeko. So it's a 3 prize turn there. That's how you can come back in this game pretty quick. They sent up a Squawk ability so they could swap in the Okidoki, getting poison so they could hit for more. They're going to go ahead and attack me for 260, knock out my Meowscarada. Takes them down to 2 prizes. On my turn, I'm going to finally get my Radiant Alakazam down. I'm going to move couple of these damage counters back off this active. I only need 50 on him to knock him out, so we will get those onto that other Okidogi with energy. And now that they're at 2 prizes, we'll go ahead and use that Iono. Definitely the time that you want to wait for that opportunity if you can. And with bug catching set, I'll get a couple more grass energies. And we can Bouquet Magic one more time. To that same Okidogi, make sure we can get him in range. Use Bibarel. Nothing really of consequence there. We're going to retreat the Mimikyu. And then we will use Scratching Nails to do 200. Get an exact knockout on Okidogi. Just nice to not waste any damage there. Take 2 more prizes. It looks like the Iono kind of locked them into nothing. They sent up the Pheasantipede. Couldn't do anything else there. So all I have to do here is use Radiant Alakazam, move a couple damage counters up to him. He's at 210. I'll put 2 on there. Only needed 1. Then I can Scratching Nails for 200, knock him out, and finish the comeback. It's one of those decks that does take some patience. You just have to identify that path to victory and just lock onto it and stay on it. I joked with my Gengar list a few weeks ago about not getting mad, but if you want a deck to make your friends mad, look into this Banette EX, Espathra EX deck. Holy cow. Banette blocks items, Espathra, and Pokemon League at headquarters increase your attack costs. They got Rigid Band and Hero's Cape to bulk everything up. I had not seen it played recently, but what a deck. I'm kind of jumping into this one in the middle of it because this was a very slow starting game, especially with the item lock. I finally got some stuff going. Got a couple Meowscarada so I could start putting some damage down, and an Unfair Stamp to kind of get their hand under control. Able to get energies on both these guys, and Super Rod some of the energies I've already used on my ability back in. Really want to get a 3rd Meowscarada in play in this game if I can. It's kind of hard to pull off sometimes. With that Rigid Band, I only hit them for 50. They come back and hit me for 240 with that Spathra that's just loaded up. Kind of thought I had a plan here. I'm going to use Turo Scenario to get my Meowscarada out of the way that's damaged and come up and finish this guy off, but forgot about Espathra's ability. The Stadium doesn't affect me, but it does affect my attack on Meowscarada. I don't have enough energy on that one. I'm going to use Radiant Alakazam to get some damage counters moved around, but as you can see, there I am blocked from attacking. I'm just verifying that, so I had to pass again. They didn't really get anything else, so they hit me again for 240, so we're back basically to where we just were. Definitely not tossing that energy with the ability, getting it on my active so I can attack, and we'll see what we get with the Bibarel. Use Radiant Alakazam again to need to get 1 more damage on a Spathra so I can take it out. It would have been 10 short if I could have attacked last time. And we'll go ahead and start getting some damage on that second Espathra, because once we de-evolve, that's the goal here. Basic of that guy is only 50 HP. So I finally knock out that Espathra with all the energy on it. It kind of puts me back in control of this. You can also see they have no cards in their hand. Bug catching set, we get another one of these nice looking Meowscaradas. I did upgrade this deck between some of the videos that I shot just to make it a little prettier. On their previous turn, they did get that Hero's Cape on Espathra, so give it another 100 HP. But it's also kind of their main attacker in this deck, so I'm just going to start piling some damage counters on him and see what we can do with him as we go. I don't have a way to knock that tool off, unfortunately. I'm going to attach the TM, then draw 1 with Bibarel. I get an Arbin, then I've got 4 energy in the discard pile, so I'm going to get 2 back in my hand with energy retrieval. I'm going to play the Arbin to grab the Super Rod. I'm going to Bouquet Magic one more time and get 30 on that Xatu. Then from the last Meowscarada, get 30 more there. Then we use that Super Rod to get 3 energies back. And now it's time to use Devolution. If not for the Hero's Cape, it would have ended the game, but like I said, there wasn't anything I could really do about that. I already had some damage on that guy. So we'll get the Shuppet and we'll get the Natu. Take 2 prizes there, it just gets us down to 1. They were locked into a bad hand. I think basically all they had in their hand was what they had to pick up from Devolution. So they draw and pass, and all I have to do is just use Lysander, catch the not two on the bench, and take the last prize. There's a better look at using the TM, and I think this Banette deck definitely needs to be revisited. Although I'd say Meowscarada EX is probably not one of its more favorable matchups. The danger for me, if I took Meowscarada to a larger event, is knowing when to scoop and move on in the best 2 out of 3. Because with decks like this, I feel like I can always see a way to win, even down 2 or 3 prizes. So, I don't know. If you're a fan of the deck, build it this way, and then maybe the Charizard Pidgeot EX Rotom V way, and see which way you like it. It might not be the easiest thing to play. I mean, I made mistakes even in the videos I showed you here, but it feels like one that is very dangerous in the hands of someone that practices with it. And I'm definitely thinking about upping that Mimikyu count. I don't know if I'll go all the way to 4, maybe to 3, and just having that as a wall to sit behind while you use your TMs and evolve and take your time. Anyway, that's how I'm playing it at the moment. Thanks as always for watching. Support the channel in any way that you like, and most importantly, if you see something cool here, share it with your friends and or your league, and get them to check out my videos as well. I'll do my best to give you something outside of the norm to look at, and hopefully help you expand your enjoyment of the game. Until next time, be not afraid. Later.